by saying a big thank you on behalf of our football club for coming today. And be honest, Si, when you were first approached about today, had you even heard the Shildon?
We haven't Geordie lad, I mean, I'm from the North East born and bred, so of course I heard of Shildon. You've got a locomotives and all sorts. It's important history in Shildon. It's good. When of course, I've never played for the football club, never been to see the football club, but I think I've been drunk a couple of times in Shildon or in and around the environs.
Really?
Well,
And since we are a football club, I'm going to ask you, living where you do, you've got to be a Newcastle fan.
I am a black and white now.
And have you been to many games over the years?
I have. I mean, I try to get as much as I can, but you know, over the past 25 years, I've spent my life living out of a suitcase, really. So, I think my family, if I was going out, I've got 2 days off, and I've just flown in from wherever filming, and then I go, I'm just going to match. I had to balance that quite carefully.
So, did you watch the match Wednesday night, sir?
I didn't. I missed it actually. I missed it. That was the 3-2 defeat to Manchester United, wasn't it? That's probably why I missed it.
My next question was it a penalty? They were not knowing.
Well, I've seen the highlights. Was it a penalty? I think it probably was. You can see the comment.
I knew what you were going to say before you thought.
Well, Manchester United seem to get plenty of them, so.
I'm going to go out of my comfort zone now and talk about food with you. And I've got to say, my culinary skills go about as far as boiling an egg.
Well, that's all right. It's a start.
I know exactly when to take it out because the water dries up.
That would be a hard-boiled egg, that's for sure, definitely.
Yeah. So, have you got any advice on how to get egg off the ceiling side?
Well, it depends how long it's been there. It's either a cloth or a scraper. There's nothing in between, really. So you don't cook?
No, I'm not a cook.
You're not a cook?
No, my wife does all the cooking.
Your wife does it, so it's traditional rules on your household then, is it?
Oh yeah. I'd like to say I'd rather washing up, but we've got a dishwasher.
Have you? And what happens when the dishwasher breaks down?
I'll probably be the dishwasher, yeah.
There you go.
So now you've had a hard day of work. One of your family fancies treating you to your tea, to your favourite dish. What would they make you?
Well, I'm a massive fan of shellfish and seafood and fish. Really massive, and I don't live that far away. Maybe 40 minutes away from the fish quay in North Shields. So. That's always my first, and would be my boys as well. That would be my first go-to. Normally we all. The thing about the Kinney family is that we tend to cater. There's not that many of us, but we tend to cater for like 15 and above. I don't know why. It's just that. And the worrying thing is that we never waste anything as well, because that's a big thing in our household. I hate food waste. So. Yeah, that's what it would be for sure. They'd get the pizza oven on, would cook some fish in the pizza oven.
We've mentioned that you live local, so is there a local restaurant that's impressed you enough to give them a plug? I mean, this is going out on the internet, you might get them a little trade.
No, absolutely. There's a couple actually. There's one called the Feathers up in Heading on the Wall, which is excellent, and the team there are lovely. It's a proper pub with great beer, great service, great staff. Really, just a great menu.
What's it called, sir?
It's called the Feathers.
The Feathers.
On Heading on the Wall, or in the wall, or on the wall, up the wall. It's on a wall, and it's near Heading. It's called the Feathers.
So, what would your favourite tipple be to go with an evening meal?
Oh, it depends what I'm eating. It really
I've seen you many times on the telly with a glass of wine and.
I do eat wine very much. It depends what I'm eating. It depends. Wine's a great thing, but I'm a bit of a boilermaker. I like a beer and a whiskey, so not necessarily in that order.
Have you got any idea at all how many episodes of the Hairy Bikers were made? Because whenever I'm channel open, you can always find an episode of the Hairy Bikers.
Well, that's the problem, because we get more repeats than a bad pork pie. You know, we've been doing it for 25 years, so we've been 5 times around the world. So the back catalogue is considerable. So which is why we're a cheap date for channels. Basically, they come and pay the royalties, and then that's us.
I'm not bullying you up here, but I've thought for many years that the Hairy Bikers were and still are the best programme on the telly, the cooking programme on the telly.
You're a lovely man.
Now, you cooked ordinary food for ordinary people, didn't you? No posh stuff, was it? Have I got that right?
Yeah, you have got that right, because the thing is that Dave and I never saw the point of doing anything really on the telly that you couldn't manage at home in your own domestic kitchen. And what was important to us was that we wanted to empower people to get back into the kitchen and cook for the family and cook for their friends and cook for the people that they love and care about, and that was really important, because there was a shift away from home cooking, because the corporate world and food was, you had a ready meal here and you had a snack here and a snack there, and it was just great. And we did some research actually, and we asked the British public how many times they sat around a table together as a family, and it wasn't very often, maybe on a Sunday every now and then, and it was just a bit. That is the social glue of our communities wherever we are in the country, and it's so important. So we didn't really see the point in cooking anything on the telly that you couldn't manage at home. And I mean, there was degrees of difficulty with that, there was degrees of application, but fundamentally with a Hairy Biter's recipe, if you follow the recipe, you get something that looks like the picture.
And in all those episodes of Hairy Biter, was there ever a time when someone's cooked something up for you and you've looked at it and gone, I'm not eating that?
Well, you can't do that really, can you? Because it would be disrespectful, and we're not there to be disrespectful. We're there. Dave and I were just conduits and conduits of other people's stories and experiences and food. And it may not sometimes be to my palate, but it's always respectful. You could never. I would never, and have never said, nor had Dave.
Would you eat one of my hard-boiled eggs?
Well, if it was still in its shell and not on your ceiling, I'd probably do that. A bit of salt, that would be alright, palatable.
So how did you become a team with Dave? Did you already know each other, or did the television bring you together?
Well, oddly, the television brought us together, but we were at the other side of the camera. So I was a first assistant director, production manager and locations manager in the film and television industry before I did this. And Dave was a very talented prosthetic makeup artist. And we got together in, I think, 1991, 92, winter of 90, I think the film lasted 91, 92, on a Catherine Cookson drama called The Gambling Man, and that's how we got together. That was, I just thought, oh, he's all right, and he knows what he's doing, and I knew what I was doing, so we got the work over pretty quickly, because the makeup artist and I was the second assistant director at the time, worked pretty closely together, just getting actors and actresses through the system of costume and makeup.
So how did the bikes come into it?
Just a love of motorcycles. It was our chosen form of transport. We'd been brought up with them all our life, so it was a common interest really. That's what it was about. So yeah, just a common interest.
Can you tell me about the Hairy diet? It was advertised as eat food and lose weight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Basically, I still haven't made any money from that, all those series of books. So what we did was the whole premise was that we were morbidly obese and we were fat lads and we were getting fatter. And as we aged, we were kind of thinking, this is really not good. And so what we did is we did a huge amount of resource and numerous nutritional kitchens, dietitians. So what we did is we said, right, okay, well, we want to maintain flavour, but we want to take the calories out. So when people cook it, they're having a lasagna, but without the calories and no over processing. So it was a very difficult process to take on, technically for Dave and I, for our team of nutritionists and all that sort of stuff. So that's how it began really, because we're just proper fat.
I was hoping you'd invent like a diet bacon and egg sarnie. There's got to be a hole in the market for that, isn't there?
Well, we invented a diet doner kebab.
Did you?
So I see. I'm doing your bloody homework, have you?
Not a diet bacon and egg sarnie.
No, you just didn't put butter on it. It would be all right. Cut the fat off. Jobs are good.
And just to finish, mate, do you want to tell us about the Dave ride out that's happening next month?
Yes. It's flipping enormous. It's gone nuts, and it was a bit of a thingy that Lily's wife and a great friend of ours, Woody, wanted to do, Yeah, it was a lovely idea, and to be fair to Lil and Woody, they've single-handedly, they worked together, they've organised it, and it's just it's going to be a fantastic day. We've got Massive Wagons playing, which are a huge rock and roll band. So that's going to be good. So there's bands on, there's food, there's music, there's I mean, God knows how many motorcycles. So I start the ride on the King's Road in London. Very kindly, Harley Davidson lent me a motorcycle, which is very kind of them. I'm not entirely sure whether they'll get it back, like, but they've lent us one anyway. And yes, so we ride 300 miles, end up in Barrow-in-Furness. Say thank you to everybody, and then go to a rock concert and get drunk. What's not to love?
Si, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you.
Oh, pleasure to you as well.
Thank you
My
very
pleasure
much.
entirely.
Thank you.
Pleasure entirely.